There are places on this earth that carry a warning in their silence. Not a sign, not a fence, not a word spoken by any living person. Just a feeling. The kind that crawls up the back of your neck before your brain has even had time to process what your body already knows. Karim knew that feeling the moment he stepped through the broken gate. He felt it, and he went in anyway. Karim was 26, smart, stubborn. The kind of person who rolls his eyes at ghost stories, but sleeps with the lights on after hearing one. He worked as a freelance photographer, the kind who chased abandoned places for content. Old hospitals, burned down schools, factories that smelled like rust and old regret. He had a following, a decent one. And his followers were hungry for the next thing. That's what brought him to the Alhambra building. 7 floors, built in the early 70s, sealed shut since 1987 after an incident that the local government never fully explained. The official report said structural instability. The residents of the surrounding neighborhood said something else entirely. They said the last people who went in never came back the same. But that was the kind of line that got clicks. So Karim grabbed his camera bag, his flashlight, and his phone, fully charged, no signal as expected. And he squeezed through the gap in the corrugated iron sheet covering the main entrance. The door to the 5th floor was closed, not jammed, not warped from age or moisture. Closed, the handle clean, the hinges unrusted, as if someone had been in there recently, as if someone was maintaining it. Karim stood in front of it for a long moment. His flashlight flickered. He shook it. It stabilized. He told himself the flickering was the batteries. He reached out and turned the handle. The door opened without resistance. The smell hit him first. Not rot, not mold. Something almost floral but wrong. Sweet in the way that things are sweet when they are beginning to decompose, like fruit left out 3 days too long. The room beyond was furnished. Furnished. A single chair, a table. On the table, a glass. And inside the glass, water that had not evaporated, had not turned green. Looked as clean and still as if it had just been poured. Karim did not touch the glass, but he photographed it. That's when he heard it. Not a voice, not a footstep, a rhythm. Slow, deliberate. Like something breathing, but too slow to be human, too measured. A breath in over 7 full seconds, a breath out over 9. Karim spun around, nothing behind him. He checked the closet, a narrow door on the far wall, slightly ajar. He pushed it open with his foot, empty. He was alone, and yet the breathing continued. He filmed it. 8 full minutes of audio that he would later play back to 3 separate people, none of whom could explain it. One of them, a sound engineer with 15 years of experience, told him flatly, "That's not wind, that's not pipes. I don't know what that is." But that was later. Right now, Karim was still in the building, and he made the mistake of going up 1 more floor. The 6th floor had no ceiling. Or rather, it had a ceiling, but it had partially collapsed, opening a ragged wound of sky above. Pale afternoon light filtered through. Pigeons nested in the exposed beams. Normal. Finally, something normal. Karim exhaled. And that's when he saw her. A woman, standing with her back to him at the far end of the floor. Still, not moving, dressed in something dark. He couldn't make out the details in the low light. "Hello?" he called. His voice echoed back to him. The woman did not move. He took 3 steps toward her, then 4. She turned, and Karim ran. He would later struggle to describe what he saw to his friend, to the doctor, to anyone who asked. The words came out broken, wrong, insufficient. He said, "Her face wasn't finished." He said, "She was looking at me, but there was nothing looking back." He said, "I don't know how to explain it. It was like a copy of a person that had never seen a real person to copy." He made it out. Scraped his arm on the corrugated sheet. Lost his flashlight somewhere on the staircase. Ran 2 full blocks before his legs gave out and he sat on the curb, camera still somehow in his hand, chest heaving. He sat there for 11 minutes. He counted. Then he drove home. Here is where the story changes. Because what Karim entered the building with, and what Karim left with, they were not the same thing. He noticed it that night. In the photographs, the ones of the staircase, the walls, the stripped lower floors, everything was normal. Shadow, texture, decay, exactly what he expected. But the photograph of the 5th floor room, the chair, the table, The glass of water. There were two glasses in the photo. He had only seen one. And standing behind the chair, partially obscured by shadow, barely visible if you weren't looking, something he had not seen, had not felt, was a shape. Just a shape. But the shape was looking directly at the camera, directly at the lens, directly at him. He drove home. Karim deleted the photograph 3 days later. He said it was because he didn't want to make something out of it, didn't want to sensationalize. But his friend, who saw the photo before it was deleted, says that's not why. His friend says that on the third night, Karim called him at 2 a.m. and said only one thing before hanging up. It's in more than one of them. He never posted the content from the Alhambra building. He stopped going into abandoned places after that. And when anyone asked him about it, directly, sincerely, he doesn't roll his eyes the way he used to. He just goes very quiet. And then he changes the subject. There are places that carry a warning in their silence. Some warnings you only understand after.